Hi, my name is Dr. Becky Krull, and I'm coming to you today from the Green Bay and Alloway Animal Hospitals. I want to talk to you about a topic that's very common in our dogs, and it's called allergies. When we're talking about itchy dogs or allergies, it's really important that we get a good, clear history. I like to know how long it's been going on, what your dog's eating, your breed history. So there's a lot of information we're going to ask you when you come into the hospital. Other things that are really important are flea and tick preventatives. Are you using them, not using them? Has your pet ever had fleas? And then we're going to go ahead with the diagnostic approach of what we do to figure out why your dog's itchy. So number one is fleas and external parasites. It's really important that we're figuring out if you're using a preventative on your pet. If we're not, then the number one thing we're going to do is start it. The most common parasites that cause itchiness in dogs is fleas, Demodex, and sarcoptic mange. Years ago, we'd have to do a bunch of testing and diagnostics on your pet to figure out if it had those parasites. But we have new products now today. NexGard and Bravecto are the number one, and those drugs just take care of those parasites. So we don't even have to do a lot of those diagnostics. We just send you home with the preventatives to make sure that we're covering fleas, Demodex, and sarcoptic mange. The second thing we're going to examine on your dog is, does it have a skin infection? Oftentimes these pets have skin infections with their primary problem. So we might do impression smears, we might take ear swabs, and we'll look at those all under the microscope to find out if there's an infection of bacteria and yeast that need to be addressed. Then we're going to move on to the second thing that causes itchiness in our pets, and it's food allergies. Our marketing schemes with our food products out there might have us believe that grain allergies are actually a problem for our pets, and that's not true at all. It's a great advertising scheme for our pet food companies, but it really has nothing to do with why our dogs might have food allergies. Typical food allergies for dogs are beef, chicken, soy, pork, lamb, fish, all the major proteins that make up your pet's dog food. So the only way to know if your pet has a food allergy is to do what's called a food elimination trial. We use a specialized diet called hydrolyzed protein diet. What this diet does is it takes the proteins in that food, whether it be meat or vegetable, hydrolyzes it to a very small particle that the body doesn't see as an allergen, and thus we feed that for 8 to 12 weeks. It's very important during that feed trial that the animal gets nothing else. And we have tips and tools to help you do that, but we don't know if it's a food allergy until we do the trial. Once we do the trial for 8 to 12 weeks, we slowly introduce products that may cause a reaction. And then we can decide what is or isn't working and move on from there. Our third thing that we have to figure out why your pet is itchy is it something in the environment. We call that atopic dermatitis. There's several ways to figure out what your pet is allergic to. One way is a blood test called an IgE, and it's a very simple blood draw. We send it to a preferred lab and they give us some results on what your dog is probably allergic to. The second way is sending you to a dermatologist specialist for something called intradermal skin testing. We usually don't have to do that. That is our gold standard of diagnosing what is bothering your pet that lives in the environment. The next gold standard treatment or management approach is vaccinating your dog against what it's allergic. If that's something you're not interested in, we have another step, and it's basically immunosuppression and supportive care. We have multiple drugs that help tell the body, knock it off, don't respond this way to what I'm allergic to. Some other really key tips that I use about itchy dogs with environmental allergies is that some antihistamines work. Bathing becomes crucial to wash these actual contact allergens off your dog. And then just good monitoring. Dogs who have allergies can't be cured, they can be managed. We have many, many tools to help you do that. The next step really is deciding how to move forward with the best approach to figure out why your pet's itchy, flea prevention, a food trial, as well as supportive care for environmental allergies. And we as a team work together with you to help manage what's best for your pet. This is a lifelong management disease. It's not something that we're just gonna fix with a Band-Aid, you go home and it goes away. It's just like people who, let's say, have seasonal allergies that flare up and you have to take Zyrtec over and over again. You know that every year you're gonna have a flare up. Or if you have cat allergies, you know you can't be by cats. If you have peanut allergies, you shouldn't eat peanuts. So when it comes to management, and I use that word on purpose, management, we don't cure allergies, we manage them. My biggest problem with this disease is owner compliance, and really understanding that we're going to form a relationship and we're going to talk to each other a lot, especially in the initial phases of finding out what's happening, what works for your pet, what doesn't. We do lots of follow-up visits, and we maintain that communication for the lifelong duration of your pet. And the reason I do this is if I lose you along the way, it's going to cost a lot more money for you to keep coming back, and your pet's not going to be comfortable. My main goal is to make your pet comfortable, make you happy, and do it at an affordable cost that we can manage for the rest of your pet's life.